Hello everybody, it's Girl Got Game and welcome to a new Gander video. Today I am checking out the visual novel Ecosphere by Tailstrike. I was reached out to by Rio Kami, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly and I'm sorry if I'm not, who asked me if I would be interested in covering this game because it's currently, as you can see, in its Kickstarter and already halfway to its goal, which is very exciting. And I took a look at this and I'm like, yes, I would love to play this game. It looks awesome. Let me read the little background story bit for you here. So Ecosphere, in a world where humans are born with an affinity, the mark that gives them the power to control one of the four natural elements, Arane Kross grows up deprived of this gift. Hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Despite the taboos surrounding the use of technology, the young woman takes refuge in the design of machines to try to overcome her handicap until the day she inherits an orb capable of controlling nature, the Ecosphere. Arane is then recruited by an order to protect the environment, the Green League, to fulfill her civic duty, a year full of dangers where any difference is perceived as a weakness. And along the way, as you can see, she'll meet a cast of potential friends and maybe love interests. So they all look gorge. She looks gorge. The game looks gorge. Let's hop into the demo and see what we're getting into. Boop, boop. Look at this. Isn't it just beautiful? My goodness. I love the art for this. We've seen a more discreet introduction, but I have proof that my prototype works. I glided for a few meters before I crashed into that damn tree planted in the center of the village. Who would do such a thing? Who would plant that there? I also love that the main character has heterochromia. Look at this green-purple eye combination. Ugh. By adding thrusters, I should be able to get adequate thrust and my mother bursts in before I finish my train of thought. I feel like I'm going to get scolded. Arane Kross! Some villagers peek out, surprised by the commotion. Also, is it just me, or does she give off, like, Kim Possible vibes a little bit? It might be, like, the black top with the gloves and the green kind of cargo pants with the red hair. I don't know. She gives me some Kim Possible vibes, which might be why I'm drawn to her as well. You could be a little more discreet. Everyone's watching! Says the girl who just crashed into the tree in the village square. At least I managed to develop a new invention. I'm going to add thrusters to get some height. Can you imagine the distance we could travel? You're just like your father. The mere memory of my father always calms the tension between us. I was 5 when he disappeared. But that's no reason to do whatever you want. Lucky no one got hurt. And why exactly did you invent a flying machine? Oops, the burning question. That would be... I remind you that you must inherit the Ecosphere on your 20th birthday. And that day is today. Yes, thank you. I hadn't forgotten the date of my birthday. And we've talked about it at least 1,000,000 times. I don't want this orb. So, I assume that you built this machine to leave the village? She already suspects my plan. We'll talk about it tonight. Zale will be there too, to celebrate the event. He's coming back to the village today. I don't think he'll be long now. I don't want to see him either. Without saying another word, I walk over to the aircraft to right it. What a nasty temper sometimes. I'm trying to restart the prototype's engine. It still works despite the crash. Awesome! As I speed off, I see in the rearview mirror that my mother is holding a megaphone to shout something at me. Amazing. But I can't hear anything. Oh, she'll tell me when I get home. I'm sure it's not that important. And happy birthday! Oh, she must not have heard. What a pest when she gets like this. Hi, Zale. Thanks for coming back to town. You look great.
One wonders where she gets it from.
Well, hello, Zale. We were just talking about you.
I just got off the ferry.
That's great. You haven't returned since joining the Green League.
Yes, the League rarely grants this kind of permission. But I couldn't miss Arane's birthday.
You just missed her.
Yes, I saw her drive off like a maniac with a machine.
I don't know what to do. She just invented this aircraft to leave the village.
She hasn't changed a bit. I imagine she's at the den. I'll go and see her.
The den. Ooh. This is your workshop area. I like it. This is the den. My secret workshop at the bottom of a cave on the cliff near the village. I spend most of my time here inventing all kinds of things. Just like my magnificent aircraft prototype. I've just put the wings back on and I'm about to perform a delicate operation, adding jet engines. A few tools are always available on the board near my workbench. I walk over to grab them. I attach the 2 jet engines under the wings, then connect 2 cables to the generator next to them. Now I must operate the generator by pulling this chain. Ah, let's see, what have we got here? Interactive backgrounds. Here's the drag and drop feature. Hold the click on the item in the inventory and drag it, then release at the target point to unlock narrative content. Okay. Pliers. On this spot. I did it. I'm making technology. Electricity travels through the cables to the aircraft. It becomes charged with energy. The thrusters begin to burn. I hold my breath. Everything suddenly shuts off. You've got to be kidding me! What now? I go over to inspect the prototype. Ouch! I forgot to cut the power to the generator! But it does malfunction. The combustion is not powerful enough. Something is missing to generate enough heat to launch the thrusters. But what? There's gotta be a way. A familiar voice suddenly snaps me out of my thoughts.
I see you haven't lost your habit of talking to yourself.
No one knows where the den is except him. This, pink lighting and the plush. Hello, girl. You good? My heart starts pounding. I hadn't seen Zale in 2 years. We'd always been great friends, maybe even more. But I never dared to tell him. He left Norden to join the Green League, an ancestral order charged with protecting nature and its balance. I'm happy to see him again, but at the same time, I don't talk to myself, I think out loud. It's not the same. And what are you doing here anyway?
Nice welcome.
At least with this, he should understand that something's wrong. Zale looks at the side of the aircraft.
A new invention.
Yeah, I tested it this morning. I was inspired by the glider we used back in the day. You know, the one you built into the roof of City Hall.
Nonsense! You were driving that day.
Are you sure? Your memory seems to be playing tricks on you. I can hardly hide my smile. I know very well that I was driving that day. Zale, on the other hand, is pretty good at flying.
As I recall, my parents were mad.
They even grounded you for a whole week. I had to rig a jumping stick to sneak up your bedroom window. Or up to your bedroom window. We laughed for a moment. But that was before you ran off to the Green League.
I knew that was the problem. You never answered my letters. Are you mad at me for leaving the village?
I don't blame him. Trying to make dreams come true is natural. It's just that... Suddenly, a creaking sound from his armor catches my attention. Is there something wrong with your armor, Zale?
You're always so good at changing the subject.
It's not wrong. Answering an awkward question with another question is my favorite tactic.
Now that you mention it, I have trouble moving my arm, and sometimes the breastplate locks up in combat mode.
I sigh in exasperation. Don't they have engineers at the Green League to take care of your equipment?
Not as talented as you. They couldn't figure out how you put it together.
I must say that I'm proud of this invention. In addition to protecting Zale in battle, this armor is equipped with a fire-breathing device. I called this invention Carburo. Oh yeah? Nice. Sit in front of the workbench and remove your armor. Looks like the Carburo needs a good overhaul. Explore mode. There are point-and-click features in this visual novel. I love that. I love my point-and-clicks. Use the cursor to find points of interest. A panel and a sound will warn you when you find one. Enjoy your search! I will. Oh. Stuff. Look at the stuff. Isn't it neat? What's in the stuff? I must know. A whole bunch of spare parts I pick up here and there. I'd rather dismantle old machines and salvage parts than buy them. Plus, it's more economical. I approve. Anything in the corner? I'm just gonna do a little... Got a mirror? What's in the mirror? A reflective mirror. One of my first inventions when I set up the den. Without this, it would be way too dark in here. I love the little comment she makes. It reminds me of old point-and-clicks. An aircraft, you say? My latest invention so far. This aircraft will allow me to leave Norden. At least, I hope so. I still need to get its reactors up and running first. Right. So we got the Carburo and prototypes. Carburo's probably the thing we're going for, yeah? So let's look at the prototypes first. A secret invention I'm working on. Far more complex than the aircraft. But one thing at a time. The aircraft is already giving me trouble. Alright, and the Carburo. Indeed, it's not well maintained at all. Hey, look at these cuties. While I'm working on the Carburo, Zale looks at another prototype lying around on the workbench.
And what's this machine here?
It's a substitute affinity, but I can't get it to work. It seems that electricity isn't the right energy source. The capacitor can't store sufficient density.
As always, I don't understand much when you talk about your inventions.
I sigh, while tightening a bolt. Make an effort. I'm trying my best to explain it, yet... After a moment of silence, I notice that Zale is reluctant to ask me a question. Then he finally takes the plunge.
Did you invent it because you're tired of being different?
I see what he's getting at. He means I was born without an affinity. I instinctively avert my eyes. It's not that. It's just that I have to develop a huge invention if I want to get into Dynamo Core. Can you imagine? With a substitute affinity, it would change the lives of everyone like me.
The high-tech company specializing in research and development?
Yes, that's where I'd like to do my civic service. That 1 year when every 20-year-old citizen has to train for their place in society.
All this time, you still haven't changed your mind.
Seeing that the armor is reconstituted, Zale prepares to put it on again. There are still a few bolts to tighten.
You have to join the Green League to do your civic service and learn how to use the Ecosphere when you inherit it.
I can feel anger rising inside me. I tighten a nut a little too hard, and the open-end wrench slips out of my hand. Except I don't want that kind of life. And why do you care anyway? You'll let me down again as soon as your leave's up. So mind your own business.
I see.
It had to come out. but I already regret saying that. I can see I've hurt his feelings. Sorry, I got carried away.
It's nothing. At the same time, it's not my place to tell you what to do. But I doubt your mother would agree. And there's no other way to leave Norden except by ferry.
Why do you think I built an aircraft?
Now I understand better. You've left nothing to chance.
But I have a problem with the reactors igniting. My electric generator can't create a big enough explosion.
I don't think I'm the most qualified to advise you.
I just smile at him as I tighten the last nut on the breastplate. Great! The carbureau is as good as new. It wasn't that complicated. Try it to see if everything works properly. I point to a target at the back of the den. A half-burned mannequin lies there, the poor thing having been used as a guinea pig when I invented the carbureau. Come a little closer? Nice! I like the protective eyewear. That's great. Not so close. I'll reconnect your affinity to the flamethrower in your glasses. Ah. Badoop. Great. It works perfectly.
Incredible! You're still so talented.
But wait, that just gave me an idea for my reactor. If I connect the reactors to your affinity, they should ignite just like the carbureau's flamethrower.
It's worth a try.
Our eyes meet as he raises the flame spitter. It feels as if nothing has changed after all this time. It's complicated. It is complicated, but I feel like the two of you are feeling some kind of way here, so I'm gonna go top one. I'm blushing. This is not good at all. Don't let him notice. Well, it's market day today. I'm going to need some materials to test the thrusters. Will you come with me?
Why not?
I take some money out of a drawer in my workbench and put it in my satchel. It also contains a few cotton swabs that I always carry with me.
By the way, Arane.
What?
Happy birthday.
I can't stop smiling at him. Then we leave the den. Cuties! Love them. Adorable. After skirting the cliff where the den is located, we arrived at Norden's Market Square, where I crashed the aircraft just this morning. And speaking of the aircraft, I'll go to the ironmongery and buy 2 cables. We'll use them as conductors for the reactors. I think you can plug them into your fire affinity.
I bet you'll crash like you did last time.
Well, no. If we light them, the engines will propel the aircraft and keep it in the air. Stunning, isn't it?
And how far will you go like that?
Sailors say that the Dynamo Corporation frigate will soon be heading for Cosmopolis. Now's my chance.
That's right. I've been assigned to secure its president when he comes. His name is Horwin Beckett, isn't it?
Horwin is incredible. He's barely our age and already founded a company at the cutting edge of innovation. I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, I get it. What do you mean by he's amazing?
He imitates the enthusiastic tone of voice I just used. Aren't you a little jealous?
Absolutely not. And you seem to have forgotten that the League's headquarters is in Cosmopolis. All the Guardians will be looking for you if you ever manage to leave Norden.
Many people know my name, but not my face. Lucky for me.
I know what you look like.
Very funny, Zale. I know full well you'll never report me. I know him so well. He's like, wah. We arrive at the Norden market and the villagers are out shopping. Besides finding the foodstuffs needed for daily life, Market Day brings the community together once a week. It's the foundation of Norden's social ties in a nutshell. Different aisles segment the market. Most villagers greet Zale. And he seems to be enjoying the notoriety. A cook suddenly calls for Zale to turn on his oven. He uses his fire affinity to fan the embers. In Norden, as elsewhere on Excellior, I think, people have organized themselves into communities to survive and help each other. Everyone uses their affinity to serve their neighbor. It's the basis of the social bond. And since I don't have an affinity, I've never really been able to participate. Oh, hi, Mom! I suddenly bump into my mother. On market day, she runs a stall selling her products. She's the village baker. My mother smiles tenderly at me. She can tell how I feel.
At least Zale got you out of hiding.
I decided to come. I needed to run an errand. But I didn't think Zale liked being a star so much.
We mustn't hold it against him. People are very proud that one of our own is part of the Green League. The prestigious battalion.
My mother grows nostalgic. She was in the Green League once, before I was born. But she rarely talks to me about that time. I know that's how she met my dad.
Your necklace has a strange color.
I don't understand. It did that last night at the workshop, and then it stopped.
Your father gave you this half of a pearl long ago.
That glow happens when you look at the horizon through the other half to locate your necklace.
I don't like it. The other half is supposed to be kept at the memorial.
It's rare to see her this bothered. Callista.
Happy birthday, Arane!
Oh, hello. I recognize that voice. It's Callista. Thank you so much. Like Zale, we've known each other since we were kids.
I'll look into the glow. You can go with Callista. You said you needed Arane's talents, I believe.
The store door's stuck. Will you help me?
Great.
You're always complaining about being unable to participate in village life. Now's your chance!
Well. All right. I was going to the hardware store anyway. I've got an errand to run.
Great, that's good timing then.
She's cute when she gets down to it. Yeah. We head for the store. The villagers look at Callista with suspicion, even contempt. Okay. She's part of a minority in Excellior's world, the deprived. They all have pale complexions, white hair and mauve eyes. They are also born without affinities. My father was one of them. Interesting. Besides, I've got odd eyes, purple like Dad's and green like Mom's. My mother has an air affinity, but I didn't inherit it. Oh. Man, how did they meet in the Green League? Although you're inheriting an Ecosphere, so maybe that was your dad's once upon a time? As a result, the locals also look at me differently. They think being born without affinity is a curse that goes back to the dawn of time. What a stupid theory. It's nothing more than a genetic variation. We arrive in front of the store. What exactly is the concern?
I can't turn the key in the lock.
How are you going to manage without me?
What do you mean? Are you planning to go somewhere?
Not at all. Let's see what's wrong with your door. Callista isn't really convinced. I'm going to have to learn to hold my tongue. The lock's rusty, probably from last night's downpour. A little hammering on it should be enough to unjam it. Just hit it with a little hammer. Ba-doink. It should be better by now. Try opening the door just to see. The door opens.
You're a real magician.
A handy woman, anyway. Callista hurriedly grabbed the equipment that was sheltered in the stall, then displays it on the stall in front of the store.
You said you had an errand to run. What did you need?
I'm pointing to 2 rolls of copper cable. How much do I owe you?
Nothing. Just thanks for helping me out.
So cute!
But not a word to my boss.
It should be here already. We start laughing for a moment.
Oh, I just remembered it. Someone was looking for you earlier.
Really? Who?
I don't know her. She's not from here. She was tall with a long braid and a huge hat.
Never seen her. What did you say to her?
That you were surely in your den, but nobody knows where it is. Apart from your lover, of course.
Dang, Callista. Called out. You didn't tell her that. I don't even know her.
You should see your face. I only told her the first sentence. Speaking of Zale, you must be glad he's back in the village. Especially on your birthday. It proves everything.
You're talking nonsense. I'd better go. I must admit, it's nice to see him again.
What, that's it?
Bye!
Stop teasing me.
How indiscreet she can be sometimes. I mean, you're not exactly subtle, girl. As I leave the store, I see Zale at the other end of the main aisle. Still playing the star. As I walk towards his direction, my pendant starts to glow again. What's going on? Someone suddenly approaches with a quick step. Ahoy! A young woman with a long braid and a huge hat. Wouldn't that be the girl Callista just told me about? She's not that tall. Her hat gives that impression. But I must admit, she looks great. I shall admit this with you.
Are you the daughter of the famous Arane Kross by any chance?
That's me. She pulls something out of her pocket. It looks like the pearl fragment from my pendant. Both fragments emit the same glow. How is that possible?
It looks like you're right.
And she pulled a very cool looking gun. She's suddenly coming at me. The next thing I know, I'm on the ground after receiving a violent blow to the head. Well, that escalated quickly. I find it hard to open my eyes. As I open them again, I see her leaning toward me to grab my arm.
Arane!
Damn. Another guardian!
Leave her alone!
My head is spinning. I don't understand what's going on.
Not today, my dear. Your talisman is slower than mine.
Oh no! Zale was propelled against a market stall. I can feel her grabbing my arm again. A whistling sound. Oh, whoa. Then the next instant, a flying wing split the clouds and came straight for us. And picked us up. And now we're in the air! This is amazing! Things escalated so quickly! To take us up in the air! In a flash of lucidity, I have the idea of dropping the rolls of cable I've just bought before I lost consciousness. Provided Zale understands. I mean, it's a good idea.
Zale! Zale! Wake up!
I didn't see that coming. Where's Arane?
The mysterious woman abducted her.
Some kind of glider swooped down from the clouds and threw her a rope. They flew to a ship with black sails and a black flag.
Pirates. Damn! I can't believe it!
Arane was complaining that her pendant was giving off a glow. Surely that has something to do with it.
I saw the pirate brandishing some marble that glowed the same color as Arane's necklace.
There's only one thing in the world capable of emitting a similar glow. These pirates are trying to find the Ecosphere, I'm sure.
What makes you say that?
Arane's necklace contains a fragment of a pearl once given to her by her father, the other part set in his pocket watch. This fragment was kept at the memorial, recently opened to the public. That pirate must have stolen it. Putting the pearl's two parts together makes it possible to locate where the Ecosphere has been hidden, the sunken laboratory. The Green League was to recover the orb to bequeath it to Arane for her civic service. We absolutely must stop these pirates from getting their hands on it.
But how? The ship is already offshore, and by the time reinforcements from the League arrived...
Look, Arane dropped this. She came to the store to buy the rolls of copper cable.
She told me all about it. All we have to do is plug them into my fire affinity to start the reactors of her flying machine.
Do you feel up to piloting her machine?
I've got to make it. I'm the only one with a talisman to fight pirates.
I'll help you get this machine started. You know where her workshop is, don't you? In the meantime, Callista, you light the alarm fire.
Good idea. I'm going to need reinforcements.
All right.
Let's get busy.
All right. I guess they're working together to get that going. Hello, I'm on a ship, and we got some pirate music. Hey, I love it. I woke up aboard a ship with black sails. It won't be long before the sun sets, so I guess we've been sailing all day. The crew hasn't spoken to me since I woke up. The captain just took the pearl fragment off my necklace without explanation. What do they want from me? As I lean against the railing to look at the horizon, I catch sight of a rowboat tied alongside the ship. It's equipped with a motor. Interesting. The pirates on deck are busy sailing the ship and aren't watching me. They probably don't think I'm a danger since I have no affinity. And the captain is on the upper deck, holding her ear as if chatting through a radio. I can't hear what she's saying, but she's not watching me either as a result. Perfect! The sponsor. Wonder who that is.
Did you manage to kidnap the girl? Let's say I did what you wanted. She's aboard the Black Rose. What about the pearl fragment in her possession? I've put the two parts together. They indicate a position right in the middle of the North Sea. What's next for the festivities? This must be where the Master Engineer's secret laboratory is. Keep heading in this direction. You'll come across a marine beacon, lost in the ocean. This is where the signal is coming from. When your ship is close by, the safety system will start up. I guess that's where the girl comes in? The security system will just make sure she's the custodian of Arane Kross's genetic code. The sunken laboratory will then rise to the surface. You are well informed. Tell me. Let's say I have access to confidential information. But that doesn't concern you in the least. Just do what I want and you'll get the agreed reward. At least it's clear. The Ecosphere is supposed to be located in a large room behind a bay window visible from the outside. This is the engine room. Wonderful! I'll get back to you afterward to let me know where I should join you with the Ecosphere and the precious damsel. Whoever tries to escape from my ship? What are you waiting for, to catch her pirates?
Damn, she saw me. But I managed to untie the rope that kept the rowboat attached. It's okay, the boat's in the water. I immediately rushed to the railing to jump off. But suddenly I feel someone grab me by the back of the neck and throw me violently to the other end of the ship. Welp. Alphonse.
Did you think you could fool us?
The crew on deck is surrounding me. Trapped. Dynamic choices. Uh-oh, QTEs. Wait. The action phases offer choices in the form of QTE with action buttons appearing randomly on the screen, slightly transparent. Hover them with your cursor to discover the possible actions. You'll have just a few seconds to make your choice. Victory will depend on your decisions, influencing the rest of the scenario. One last word of advice, analyze your environment before you act. That's not terrifying in the least. I'm just gonna say for no reason whatsoever. Boop. Okay, so I'm trapped.
So, this is the Master Engineer's daughter? Not so impressive.
What's the matter with you? And what do you want from me? What? Oh, okay. So you're using like an earth affinity? Yeah, stones. 3 stone cannonballs near the cannons begin to levitate beside him. He's probably earth affinity.
What affinity are you?
I don't have any. The whole crew starts laughing. Except for the captain. She watches the scene, arms crossed from the upper deck. Shame and anger begin to overcome me. To think it's my fault for being born without affinity. But I've got other tricks up my sleeve. I like that there's a little notification like, it's coming! Here comes the QTE! They think I'm so harmless that they didn't think to search me while I was unconscious. Oh yeah? That big oaf is in for a nasty surprise. All of a sudden, one of the cannonballs comes flying at me. Okay, hovering over them didn't show what they were, but I approve of my choice. I narrowly managed to avoid the rock and slip my hand into my satchel to grab one of my inventions.
But what?
Riposte? Okay, if I right click, I can intimidate. Escape. Riposte. I'm pulling out my invention. A pepper bomb. Take that! Nice! Woo! Good job, girl. The whole crew is in shock, and I'm rushing to jump overboard. I must get back to the longboat at all costs. And the other brute writhes in pain on the floor. Well done. Not so much fun now. Not bad for someone who has no affinity. I managed to squeeze through the pirate stunned by pepper spray. I'm almost there. But the next moment I find myself propelled backward by a gust of wind.
As dear Alphonse rightly asked, did you think you could fool us?
Shit. Since she was on the upper deck, she wasn't stunned by the bomb. The other pirates are suddenly very aggressive.
Come on. I remind you that we need Miss Kross safe and sound.
The crew immediately calms down, and I could even hear some members saying how impressive I was. I'll take some pirate respect, thank you.
Besides, spoil her pretty face would be a shame.
Great. And on top of that, she's hitting on me. I mean, I'm not gonna complain.
Shall we put her in the dungeons, princess?
Princess?
What an idea! Take her to my quarters instead. She's our guest, not a common prisoner. Take this opportunity to take poor Alphonse to the infirmary. Yes, Captain.
Ooh, the captain's quarters. My. How scandalous. The pirates took me to the room below the ship's upper deck. And they locked the door, of course. Actually, the music here is a little quiet. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Boop. Okay. I'm obviously in the captain's cabin. The room is surprisingly simple. I'd have thought a pirate's room would be filled with treasure. I'm alone. It's my chance to learn more about this pirate. And incidentally, looking for a way to escape, I've seen other motorboats. Point and click? Point and click. Paint. Desk. Globe. Paint. It's a beautiful painting. It depicts a ship in the middle of a storm and is entitled the Azure Hurricane. I know it's legend. It's a dragon-scale ship that belonged to a pirate king some years ago. The captain was called Princess earlier. Could she be the daughter of this king of pirates? That would be interesting. Numerous crosses have been affixed to this globe. They look like treasure locations. If my hypothesis is correct, this crew has explored a good part of the Excellior world. Impressive! Anything on the floor? Any hidden... Just the library and desk. Okay. Well, oh, and the window. I approach the window. It seems locked. But the locking system doesn't seem solid. What if I tried to pry it open with a tool? Hold on. I'm not done just yet. This library is full to bursting. Reading is the captain's hobby when she's in her room. Pirate biographies, tales and legends from the world of Excellior, and even philosophy? I thought she looked less boorish than the other pirates on the crew. Proof that she likes to read, I guess. A large map of the Excellior world sits on the desk with a cross drawn over the position of the village of Norden. Notes scribbled on papers accompany the map. The paper states that the captain stole a watch from the Master Engineer's memorial. This watch contained the other half of my pearl on my pendant. That's how she found me. One part leads to the other. Dad gave it to me years ago. He said that as long as the light through my pearl shines, he'll find me. I guess it was someone else who found me.
I think your dad ships you and the pirate princess together.
Alright. To the window! To the window! To the wall! Time to go! Just gonna take my screwdriver and boop! I managed to open it! But suddenly I hear a key turning in the cabin lock.
I'd abstain if I were you. Although I would have looked for a way to escape too. But you'll be safe here. I apologize for the behavior of my crew. I recognize that pirates are sometimes a bit abrupt. Although, I admit you were impressive against Alphonse.
I was managing just fine until you stepped in.
At the same time, it would have been most regrettable if you had managed to slip away.
What a tart! That's your reaction to that? What a tart! That seems a bit extreme, but okay.
There's a question that's been nagging at me ever since.
What?
Did you really think you could escape us on the open sea?
Let me think for a second. The answer is yes.
At least you don't lack daring. But all I had to do was tack and catch up with you. You only had a simple rowboat at your disposal.
Except it's motorized and your ship isn't. It's sail-powered. By the time you turned around, I'd have gone far enough. Besides, you would have been going against the wind. So, yes, I would have managed to escape. The captain is surprised by my answer. It seems she's not used to people standing up to her.
Well, good thing you didn't get your way.
Of course. While we're on the subject of questions, one has been on my mind ever since I got on this boat. Why did you kidnap me?
Captain, are you all right? Yes, our guest is just slightly upset.
No kidding.
I'll give you the straight answer. A sponsor hired me to track down the Ecosphere. I need you to open the access to the laboratory where the orb has been hidden.
Great.
To avoid any altercation with your fellow Norden citizens, let's just say I didn't have time to ask your opinion.
I guess you have a non-violent reputation to uphold. You're Laylee Sterner, aren't you?
My reputation certainly precedes me, but non-violent is an exaggeration. Let's just say that I make it a point of honor not to kill anyone. Anyway, you're very perceptive.
I've heard fishermen talk about you. Female captains aren't a dime a dozen. Is it true you have 2 affinities? She holds out her hands to me, wide open, palms down. Her 2 affinities are clearly visible, one of air and the other of water.
Well, that's fancy.
That's unusual. I always thought it was fishermen's gossip. So she can master both air and water. That's good to know, in case things get tough.
Come on! I'm Laylee Sterner, the pirate princess.
Yeah, I'd have thought it was cool if you hadn't kidnapped me. Besides, what will you do with me after you steal the Ecosphere? Sell me into slavery or throw me to the sharks?
She starts laughing. Now that's just fisherman's gossip. When it's all over, we'll let you go home.
I see. I hesitate to ask her to drop me off anywhere but Norden.
You sound disappointed. Unless you'd rather be thrown to the sharks.
It's not that. It's just that I've always wanted to leave the village of Norden. And now, I don't know anymore.
If you don't know, I know even less.
Are you always such a pain, or is this special treatment?
And you've got character. I like that. But why were you planning to leave Norden?
It's none of her business. And you, why are you so nice to me? For a kidnapper, I mean.
I take note of the way you ignore my questions. But just so you know, you remind me of a girl I loved very much. Once. Once again, it would be a shame to ruin your pretty face. She's working her charms on me, not gonna lie. I kinda like this pirate princess.
But you could be taking me for a fool. You know what? I'll let myself fall. Why not? I'll fall to the sharks for her. Best not to make trouble. She said she wanted the Ecosphere back, but I need to find out what her sponsor plans to do with it. Someone you cared about. Your previous conquest?
Let's just say it was with her that I got my start in piracy. Like you, she had no affinity.
Interesting.
Captain, we found something. It's about time. But before you go, I've got a little present for you.
She sits on the edge of the desk and invites me to join her.
Okay.
Oh. Hello. Let me just take a little closer look here. I love the CGs. They're full of energy. I just love the style of them.
This object belongs to you, I believe.
Laylee hands me something that looks like a watch. It's a pocket watch. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. When I opened the lid, I discovered a family photo with my parents when I was still a child. Aw, she's crying. I can't hold back my tears. It's been years since I've seen this photo. It was just before my father disappeared.
Now, if you'll take the trouble to follow me, Miss Kross.
I don't dare thank her, so mixed are my feelings. She still kidnapped me. But at the same time, nothing forced her to give me back my father's watch. Especially since she promised to let me go. by the way, my first name is Arane.
Nice to meet you.
We get up from the desk, and I follow her lead toward the Black Rose Bridge. And an unlikely friendship was formed. The sun has risen. The Black Rose has dropped anchor, and the whole crew is on deck. On the left of the ship is a copper beacon. Laylee leans over the edge of the railing to get a clearer view. An emerald green light begins to shine from the beacon, then a hologram appears at the crew's level. It is shaped like a disc with a handprint. A synthetic voice begins to speak.
Laboratory security system sunk. Please place your right hand to authenticate your identity.
This must be the device the sponsor was talking about. If you don't mind, Arane.
I extend my right arm towards the disc. Sensors make my hand tingle.
Master Engineer's genetic code identified. Identity confirmed. Welcome, Arane Kross.
The hologram suddenly disappears, and the beacon plunges into the ocean's depths. Then, nothing. It's dead calm.
Is that all, Captain? Wait, the sponsor has assured me that the Ecosphere is here. Something is going to happen.
But nothing's happening. It's hopelessly quiet.
You promised us tons of gold and crystals if we found the Ecosphere.
The other pirates agree with their colleague and are beginning to doubt their captain.
We should throw her overboard. You rats, I dare you to try!
While the pirates are bickering, I lean over to the railing and suddenly see a vortex forming in the ocean. Well, that's something. There is no need to get upset. Something's moving underwater. It's as if the sea began to bubble under the hull of the Black Rose.
Oh.
For an instant, a bolt of lightning burst from the depths of the sea.
Oh, fancy.
The next moment, a huge ship emerges from the water. I recognize it. This is the workshop where my father perfected his inventions. The laboratory. Like my den, but bigger. Much bigger. The whole crew is speechless.
You see? You dare to doubt your captain.
I'm sure you had your doubts too.
It doesn't matter. Pirates, approach the laboratory. We're going ashore. Alphonse, you will accompany Arane and me. The rest of you will guard the ship in my absence. If an intruder shows up, you know what to do. Aye, Captain!
All right. Inside the laboratory, we take a long walkway. The humidity and the algae stuck to the walls create a rather gloomy atmosphere. It's amazing to walk through my father's den. Surely he had to use the same walkway to return to the room we're heading for. But enough nostalgia. I have some important questions to clear up. May I ask why you agreed to steal the Ecosphere on behalf of your sponsor?
You may have noticed a painting in my cabin.
Yes, a ship in the middle of a storm.
This is the Azure Hurricane, the ship of the King of Pirates, and what's more, my father. Have you ever heard of it?
I heard fishermen talking about it once. It's a vessel made of dragon scales. Wasn't it sunk off the west coast a few years ago?
Yes. And he went down with its captain.
I feel that Laylee is upset and sad simultaneously. I must learn to think before speaking.
But to answer your question, the man who hired me promised that he would locate the wreck, and more than that, he would get her afloat again, in exchange for the Ecosphere.
I see. Who is this man?
I didn't see his face. He was wearing a hoodie when he came to meet me. But in my opinion, it's someone pretty high up. It's agreed that we join him and the orb in Global City. Or rather, what's left of it.
Hearing those words makes my blood run cold. Wait a second. This is where my father locked up the Genius program. If your sponsor asked you to bring him the orb, it must mean that he intends to use it to break the seal.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if the Genius program is released. All I care about is my precious reward.
Rage suddenly overtakes me. I slam her violently against the copper railing. My father gave his life to lock that thing up. There's no way I'm letting you. Alphonse approaches to separate us. The pirate princess gestures to him not to intervene further.
Oh, but you seem to be getting involved suddenly. Up until now, you seemed fine with me stealing that orb. Am I wrong?
That remark unsettles me. Somehow, it's true that I was secretly hoping the Ecosphere would disappear. If the pirates stole the orb, it would free me from my heritage and I wouldn't have to join the Green League. But simultaneously, I can't ignore the consequences that would entail. Not to mention the sponsor's murky intentions. All this doesn't tell me anything worthwhile. A familiar sound suddenly draws me out of my reflection. I know those engines. They're the ones I added to my prototype aircraft. How is that possible?
Captain, looks like we've got company. It would seem so indeed. We must be quick.
Hurry up! Save me, please! I gotta get out of here. Alphonse pushes me to force me forward. What a thick brute. We walk along the gangway until we arrive in a huge room. Its atmosphere is less gloomy than the previous corridor, thanks to the light that came through the bay window.
We're obviously in that engine room the sponsor mentioned.
A copper orb sits below the footbridge.
And here's the Ecosphere, the most powerful of talismans.
The orb is exactly as I remember it, the last thing my father invented. Laylee's going to try to take it over any minute. I've got to find a solution. A cannon shot suddenly rang out.
The crew has a problem. Let's take the loot and get out of here.
They look for a moment toward the bay window.
Crap! We can't see what's happening outside from where we are.
The heavy atmosphere is broken by the roar of an engine. Hey, there he is! Da-da-da-da! The next moment, a flying object comes through the window and crashes into the onboard computer. Is Zale aboard my aircraft? I'll ask myself these questions later. The two pirates are in shock. It's now or never! I leaped up to catch the orb on its pedestal. We could escape with the aircraft. As long as it's not out of service. That would be unfortunate. But Laylee leaped in turn, drawing her talisman. She stops me in my tracks with a powerful burst of air. Oh, is that what your gun does? Fancy. What a bummer! I have no weapon with which to fight back! As the pirate princess bends over to retrieve her precious loot, Zale extricates himself from the wreckage of the machine.
But this, for example, the Guardian I sent into the scenery just yesterday.
Zale, are you okay?
More fear than harm. Thanks to the cables you dropped your mother and I managed to lift your machine off the ground.
I'm both moved and relieved that Zale is here. But she took the orb.
I'll take care of it. Would you look at that? It's more like we're going to care for you.
Oh shit, not him. Zale immediately activates the Carburo's battle mode. Damn, and there goes Alphonse. The flamethrower propels the huge pirate through the air.
Impressive.
You bet I did. He rang it up real bad.
But you're wasting your time. The orb is now mine.
The mechanisms of the Ecosphere are being set in motion. A synthetic voice, as cold as it is gentle, speaks. Correction. This orb is not yours. This is the voice of the security system when the laboratory was brought to the surface earlier. The Ecosphere throws an electric jolt at the pirate princess. Twisting in pain, she drew her pistol. She fires a burst of air at the orb, which it dodges by doing a barrel roll in the air.
What the hell?
You're talking to the intelligent interface built into the Ecosphere. My mission is to assist the owner. So, who are you? She's a pirate and she's come to kidnap you! The orb turns around. It stares at me through its sensors, a green horizontal beam running from head to toe. Identification complete. You are Lady Arane, the same look as your father.
Did you know her father?
Necessarily, Arane Kross was my creator. I aim to assist Lady Arane and teach her how to use my features. Stop calling me Lady Arane. Arane will be fine. Integrated data. According to your father's last wishes, you must join the Green League to begin your apprenticeship. Suggestion. Join Norden to make contact with the League. I've got something to say about it.
Who do you think you are, robot? As if I'd let you get away with that?
I'm not a robot, but an intelligent interface.
We don't care. You're all going to follow me nicely. We're going back aboard the Black Rose.
At the same time, pirates piloting flying wings sneak through the hole in the bay window and land on the floor. There are about 10 of them.
Captain, the Guardian has trashed the ship with his fire-breathing helmet! Don't tell me it sank. No, Captain, but a fire has broken out on board. The Water Affinity pirates are putting it out.
Laylee glares at Zale.
Tear him to pieces. You don't mess with my beloved Black Rose with impunity. Did you hear that, Captain? Attack!
The pirates are heading our way. Suggestion. The laboratory is equipped with escape pods. We should evacuate urgently. I approve the suggestion. But Zale suddenly activates the Carburo. What the hell are you doing?
We can't lose them. I'll hold them back. You run away in the meantime.
Critical analysis. 10 to 1, you'll probably get slaughtered. Their intentions are most hostile. I like that. Critical, you'll probably get slaughtered 10 to 1. This is my analysis.
The robot especially protects Arane.
I've already stressed that I'm not a robot, but an intelligent interface. Protecting Arane Kross is one of my main responsibilities.
I hope you're as strong as you are talkative.
No, wait! He dashes forward at full speed and, in one leap, places a kick in the face of one of the pirates. The latter is unstuck from his flying wing. While still in the air, Zale activates his affinity and a beam melts onto a second pirate. When his feet touched the ground, he received a violent punch to the head. Alphonse had joined the hostilities. Zale is completely stunned. He tries to retaliate with Carburo's flame spit, but no flame comes out. Alphonse's punch has damaged him. The whole group starts laughing.
You're bringing less already.
All the pirates then beat him up under Laylee's totally indifferent gaze. Hey you, weren't you supposed to be non-violent?
I've already told you not to exaggerate my reputation. And certainly not when my ship is being attacked. He only gets what he deserves.
I'm so furious, I'm speechless. A light breeze suddenly intrudes into the room through what was left of the bay window. Ecosphere sensors detect airflow. Notify. By activating my battle protocols, you could use this wind against your opponents. Another option, we can run away like your friend recommended. Never! Activate those protocols you're talking about. Whoa. I have a sword now. The flaps on the Ecosphere's poles open. A telescopic handle and blade deploy simultaneously. I don't know how to use a sword. Integrated data. Activate the Combat Assistance module. I'll show you the best options for victory. Okay. The light breeze then concentrates around me, picking up speed instead of bullying me. The wind seems to obey me. My arm began to move awkwardly, guided by the orb's movements.
Now she's decided to fight.
The big oaf's giggles quickly fade as he sees the wind gaining power around me. The other pirates are starting to panic.
Don't provoke her, you fool! Take cover, all of you!
As I point the Ecosphere blade at them, a violent storm takes shape and prepares to break. Laylee throws herself to the ground to avoid the gust. Alphonse is literally propelled. Some pirates slam into the ceiling, while others are blown out of the bay window and into the water. As for Zale, he was spared. Nice. I approach him to see his condition. The Carbureau is in pieces. Your friend is wounded, but safe. His armor has obviously protected him from harm. What a relief. It's a good thing I revised his armor yesterday, even if it still needs a few adjustments. As I help Zale lean against the wreckage of the glider, I hear applause.
Amazing! The annals don't exaggerate about this machine. I've got a good feeling I will have to neutralize you personally.
I don't think so. Come and see. But I feel exhausted suddenly, like I've just run a long distance. What's happening to me? When my battle protocols are activated, I tap directly into your energy to control nature. Affinities work on the same principle with your fellow creatures. Your body has difficulty with this process since you were born without the mark. That's clever. The pirate princess draws her sword. Man, she's got awesome weapons. Her water affinity begins to sparkle. Alert! This talisman is called the Dragon's Fang. According to legend, it was forged from a canine tooth of Ondine, the primordial dragon of water. That's why it probably surpasses my abilities when mastering this element. Suggestion: analyze the situation before retaliating.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Oop. No reason? A wave as big as the laboratory rushes into the engine room. Whoa.
Fight!
Oh. That is another very cool CG. Dang. Thanks to the Ecosphere's combat assistance, I managed to parry her assault, but not without difficulty. It's as if the ocean itself obeys her sword.
Are you afraid, Miss Kross?
I've got to find a way to turn this around quickly. Analyze. Oops. Attack. Analyze. I managed to block the wave of water by erecting an air screen. The two elements collide, but the water gradually gains ground. I can't push it away! Critical analysis. These two attacks are equivalent in terms of power, but your degree of fatigue is greater than your opponent's. At this rate, you'll be defeated by attrition.
Even the robot understands that you're not as strong as me.
I'm desperately looking for a way to turn things around, as Laylee's wave grows in intensity. A detail suddenly catches my eye. Drops crystallize on contact with the orb. Is it your cooling system that makes the water freeze? Indeed, turbines placed under my hull prevent the system from overheating. By running these turbines at full speed, you could cool the air in my attack to what temperature? Used at full power and coupled with your attack, my fans could generate a minimum temperature of minus 40 degrees in the vicinity of my copper cladding. Do it now! Yeah!
It can't be!
The cold mingles with the wall of air to freeze it in an instant so that the water freezes on contact, rising to Laylee. The dragon's fang gets caught in the ice. Who's the strongest now? Yeah! Brains over brawn. Brains over brawn.
You pest!
I don't have the words to describe what it feels like to have such power in my hands. I, who have always been deprived of affinity. But I suddenly collapsed at the end of my tether. Game over. You died. The Ecosphere had warned me, but I had to give it my all in this attack. Zale catches me before I hit the ground. The Ecosphere's blade and handle retract to its original shape.
It was well played, I admit. But unfortunately for you, my other talisman isn't out of order.
The advantage of having two affinities. I can see that Zale is at the end of his tether too. He's in no condition to take over. The outcome of the fight seems sealed. But drums can be heard outside the laboratory. A pirate remaining aboard the Black Rose calls for help from his captain.
Captain, a blimp in sight! What again? I recognize those drums. That's the Green League flagship, the Disruptive.
The pirate princess approaches the bay window while pointing her talisman at us. I can barely stand up. A huge blimp appears in the sky, its brown balloon adorned with a tree leaf, the symbol of the Green League.
Damn! They must have made the connection with the pearl fragment I stole from the memorial and the fact that I kidnapped Arane. I'd even say we did the right thing by turning on Norden's warning light to warn them. That's why I hate Guardians so much.
The fighting between the two crews rages on.
You'd better turn yourself in. And with any luck, I might even get a promotion for helping to capture you.
He never loses his bearings, that one.
The Disruptive, you say? Why would the Green League's Commander-in-Chief come in person to deal with this matter? What do I know? I'm not an officer. You'll have to ask him when we put the irons on your wrists. I'm sorry, but it won't happen. I doubt your boss would dare attack me if I held the precious damsel hostage. She represents a certain value in the eyes of the Green League. The proof? Your commander made the trip in person.
I can see Zale going pale. She's obviously hit the nail on the head. She reaches out to grab me. Zale tries to intervene.
Let it go, dear. You're out of the fight.
The sunken laboratory suddenly begins to shake all over. Alert! Unidentified objects approaching. Numerous roots burst into the engine room. They wrap themselves around Laylee and tackle her to the floor. She struggles fiercely without success.
I know these roots. They come from the commander's talisman.
Hello, Commander. Identity confirmed. Welcome, Gareth Rysel, Supreme Officer of the Green League.
As sharp as ever, Ecosphere. It's been a while since my last visit.
So that's the head of the Green League. Has he been here before?
Let me go!
A whole troop of guardians with uniforms close to Zale's follow him into the engine room.
My idea of hiding you here has finally fallen through. But the important thing is that you and your master's daughter are reunited.
Zale Collins, reporting for duty, sir.
Well, if it isn't young Zale. Those pirates obviously gave you a hard time.
He then makes his report, describing to the Supreme Officer the events that had brought him this far and what he had faced. Rysel also asks me a few questions, and I mention the existence of the sponsor who hired Laylee.
I suspected something was up since the pirates broke into the memorial. So we set off in search of them until we received Norden's distress signal.
And I was hoping never to meet you.
Here's Laylee Sterner, a pirate princess in her spare time. Someone here'll be happy to take on your case.
Oh dear, that old owl again.
Did you really think you could get away with that after what you did at Memorial, you vermin?
Besides, perhaps I should eliminate you immediately to prevent you from becoming a threat in the future. It would be unfortunate if your entire brotherhood were to unite again under a single banner.
Rizel draws his blade and points it at Laylee's throat.
I guess that'll just be one more pirate on your hit list.
He's not going to. Dang. Ooh, if we intervene, we could save her. I don't think she'll die either way, but I feel like we could get some points with her if we were to intervene. I kind of want to intervene. I like her. I like her a lot. No, stop it! She doesn't deserve this. She didn't hurt me when I was aboard the Black Rose. All she wants is to find her father's ship. Notify. There was never anything hostile about Lady Sterner's intentions. She did everything she could to hurt, not kill Lady Arane, as well as her friend. Interesting. Thanks for that analysis, Ecosphere. She's had plenty of opportunities. Just Arane, I already told you.
Are you kidding? She didn't hesitate to unleash her henchmen on me. She wanted to kill me.
And put an end to my prestigious reputation? Mostly I wanted to give you a good thrashing. I would have ordered my men to stop before the fatal blow. I promised myself that neither my crew nor I would take any life except one. And it's certainly not yours.
Who are you talking about?
From the filthy dog who murdered my father and sank his ship to usurp the title of King of Pirates. Interesting. In the end, I may find you useful, as the current King of Pirates is causing us quite a bit of trouble. And I suppose you haven't done your civic service.
No.
In that case, your life will be spared. For the moment. I'm going to submit a proposal to the Cosmopolis Council of Elders that you be spared to join the Green League for the duration of your civic service. What better punishment than to place yourself in the service of your worst enemy?
Don't you dare do that!
But your ship will be sunk to serve as an example.
Talk about a deal. If I comply with your terms, I demand that my crew be released.
We'll discuss it with the council.
We'll also be questioning you to unmask this notorious sponsor who wanted to make the orb his own.
Guardian, put this pirate in irons and pass on the order to spare the survivors. We return to the disruptive.
One of the Guardians takes a pair of handcuffs from his pouch and tightens them around Laylee's wrists, while another pulls the dragon's fang from the ice. Then we return to the Green League flagship. Well, dang, that was exciting. I think I'm going to have to stop there for today, guys, but man, this is so engaging. I am fully invested in all of this. This is great. Art's great, music's great. I didn't even meet two of the love interests. I'm like too invested in these two, mostly her. But man, I am just like, the story is so exciting and interesting, and the lore is really interesting, and I love Arane. She's a great MC. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw with Ecosphere. If you did, I encourage you to check out the demo for yourself. I'll have a link to it. It's on Steam in the description down below. And also, as I mentioned earlier, this game is on Kickstarter right now, and let me just double check. Yes, it's going until June 20th. So, if you would like to go and support this game, I highly encourage you to do so. The link to the Kickstarter will be in the description as well. And also, I have Tailstrike's X account linked in the description if you want to follow them for some updates on the game. So yeah. Thanks again to, Ryokami I got there eventually. Thank you, Ryokami, for asking me to check out the game again. I had a fantastic time, and I would love to play more of this someday. It'll be going on my to play later list for sure. Very excited to see where the story goes from here. And thank you guys once again for joining me. Until next time, I will see you later.